Good evening. My name is Annette Bastidas, and I am currently enrolled in Bshs 345. This is my third week of Cultural Diversity and Special Populations at the University of Phoenix. And tonight I will be answering some questions and providing some insight from my personal experiences with invidious comparison and vicarious traumatization. Now, before I begin in explaining to you my personal experiences, I'd like to explain what I believe are the definitions of invidious comparison and vicarious traumatization. So I believe invidious comparison is being compared to something degrading or maybe even hated. For example, how maybe some African Americans were compared to gorillas and monkeys just by the presence of their skin, or how some of us Mexicans are referred to as cockroaches because we're good for nothing, and we're pests here in America, or even Caucasian Americans. Some people compare them to, say, Honey Boo Boo and her family, just more so white trash. Each comparison, they're meant to be hurtful and degrading and negative. To me, vicarious traumatization means that there's a change in the way a person views their world. This is due to prolonged exposure to a negative environment, or just continuously hearing these negative experiences from our clientele. To me, it can be compared to what other helping professionals see as burnout. It's just a bit more narrowly focused. Vicarious traumatization is a process, and it does take time to change the person. It does not happen right away. Usually, it's just overexposure and, again, prolonged exposure to this negativity that starts to change the helping professional. Some of the changes that are included: shattered assumptions about basic beliefs in our world, for safety, security, trust, and even some justice. One starts to question, who they really are and what are the reasons for helping, and that's not okay. Once you start questioning yourself, how are you supposed to provide, great service to our clients and help them through their problems? It's a bad situation. Vicarious traumatization occurs because we have empathy for our clients, and we feel committed and responsible to help our clients, even when we have to put our personal best and interests, on hold. As professionals, we open the doorway to vicarious traumatizations once we start crossing those ethical boundaries of helping. So moving on to my personal experiences. For invidious comparison, I've been both the victim and the victimizer. Some of my experiences with being the victim is, being a Mexican in America. It's, people have different stereotypes and ideas about Mexicans, and no matter how hard you work to try and break the stereotypes or show someone that you're not just like everybody else from your culture, or the stereotype in your culture, most Americans, they see the stereotypes, but they don't see the individual. Again, I've been both the victim and the victimizer. I was the victim. I was compared to every other good-for-nothing, uneducated, and lazy Mexican, and that hurt. I was never really one to get upset before. Oh, it's because she's Mexican. I've never, before, I just kind of laughed it off. But being compared to that, that hurt. I was frustrated and enraged all at the same time. Thinking to myself, how could San Diego view me as that when I've accomplished so much in life? It just didn't make sense to me. And on the other hand, I've been the victimizer. I've been the first one to judge a book by its cover. I've been, the first one just to see a stereotype and not the individual for who they are. And, you learn from your lessons. It's not an easy lesson to learn, but if you're going to sit there and put it out there, you're going to have to deal with the repercussions of your actions. My experiences with vicarious traumatization, like, goes more so from, I've always been the one where friends and family members, strangers even, and coworkers, they just come to me for seeking advice, or seeking some kind of relationship, or for someone to tell them that they're right, and their situation is not their fault or something. It's always been like that, even before I chose to come into the helping field. It takes a toll on you, and it's not the best feeling in the world to know, for you to start questioning yourself, and for you to start changing your views again on the world, because that's exactly what happened. For years and years, I would have people come to me and tell me their stories, and it just it kind of made me hate people in a sense. I mean, I would love to hear you know people's stories and try to help in any way that I could to make sure that they were okay, but it just it changes your view for the rest of the world, and that, again, that's not okay. You start putting up these barriers and walls that are hard to break down, once you've created such a strong barrier, and that's something that I don't think that I'd ever want to experience again. This assignment has been a learning experience for me personally. I mean, I've developed, my own techniques for de-stressing over the years, and doing the research for this assignment has really provided me with more strategies to utilize through that. Um, so moving on, the first topic I'm going to discuss is stopping invidious comparison. And there are several ways to stop this, and the most basic of them all is for us, as helping professionals, parents, grandparents, and role models, to stop generalizing and stereotyping a gender, race, religion, or ethnicity who may be different, than ourselves and our families. And we are all guilty of being the victim and the victimizer. I'm sure we can all think of experiences and emotions that were brought upon such experiences. Um, Even if we make someone laugh by the comparison that we provide, that doesn't mean that it's okay to make that comparison. You're hurting somebody, for entertainment, and that's just not right. As we've discussed in class, we are the change, and the change starts with us. So that's something that I really believe in, and the world is not going to get better if we don't do anything to change it. If we just sit back and say everyone else is going to make that change. No, it starts with us. Next, I will discuss strategies I use to avoid vicarious traumatization in my personal life. I'm a beach person. I love the beach, I love the water, and I love the sand. Even when it takes a week for, the sand to fully get out of my floor mats in my car, or my clothes, or my hair. When things in my personal life start building up and start becoming too stressful, I just turn off my phone and I take my little family to the beach. We sit there, and we will listen to the waves crashing on the shore. We'll go walk the pier, play in the water hours upon hours. Just sit there and let the sun warm us up. And this is my favorite escape. And sometimes I'll do this alone if I need to. It just, the experience and the serenity that I get from it, it's just something that you can't, nobody else can provide for me. That's for me, and that's what does that for me. Some other strategies that I utilize in avoiding vicarious traumatization when I can't make it to the beach will be just take a moment, take some deep breaths, take a step from back from the situation at hand, and try and see it for how it is, trying to not be so close to the situation. Taking a moment for myself, if I'm at work or even at home, take a bathroom break, take a short walk, going to a secure place like my car maybe, and just or letting out the biggest scream that I have, and do I need to take another breath. And those are some other strategies that I have. Maybe even taking a day off or a vacation from work or from a person, a staycation. Just get away from that negative environment. Um, I do believe that these strategies will work for me as a human services worker, because in avoiding detrimental results from vicarious traumatization, I need to regroup and regain control of my life and emotions. And that's basically what's happening, in vicarious traumatization, is you lose all control of your emotions and you're so involved in something that you don't see the bigger picture. Some new strategies I've come across with and discussed with other professionals, such as teachers, friends, colleagues, family. These are some of the strategies that I've yet to implement, but that we've discussed for a while now. And let's see, some of the new strategies are changing the way I do my work and changing the way I think about my work. Changing how I do my work entails changing some things that bother me, intentionally making choices when I can and not having other people make the choices for me. Maybe connecting or disconnecting with some people, trying something different at work, or again with the person who's causing the traumatization for me, and finding ways to retain and regain perspective during the day. Investing in personal networks and relationship with colleagues. It may be even finding more than one healthy habit, whether it's adding another minute or lap to my walk, or discussing stretches with a colleague. We need healthy habits. Don't you know? I mean, don't add to your health issues by adding more stress or adding an unhealthy habit. Another strategy is changing the way I think about my work. For example, this entails asking myself these questions: why do I do this work? Do I know what I'm doing in my work, and why am I doing it? How do I measure success in my work? Is it by the amount of people that we help? Is it the quality of service that we provide? How do I measure success? What can I take, or what can I control in my work? What are the costs and rewards of this work, and how am I personally challenged by the work that I provide? Once I start to regroup and my thoughts, I should be able to prevent vicarious traumatization in the future, especially going into the helping field. In conclusion, I believe that it is critical to take care of yourself as a helping professional, and not necessarily take on the client's burdens as your own. I know we're gonna have a client or two that just won't progress, or we just want to take them and place them to the next level, but we can't fix their burdens or their life situations. That's them. It's their dilemmas, and our job as a helping professional is to get them through the difficult times and situations in life, and not to take on each and every one of the burdens. So as helping professionals, we need to put ourselves as top priority sometimes and ensure that the clients receive our best help. So that's my presentation. Thank you.